Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Going On Daily Live morning show that has different hosts, different times, different topics. It's pretty much just the best show out there,
It is the best show.
I would say,
And I'm not even saying that because, I
because
got
you're
the ball
biased.
started, but it really is.
You
It
believe it?
really is.
Yeah, yeah. It gets
Although I'm not Chanel right now, she's having a hard time
yes.
getting into the show for some reason. So
Sometimes this happens for whatever reason with this platform. People have a
yeah,
hard time logging on, and it's not always, but sometimes. So I don't know.
sometimes.
I don't know what the deal is, but that's okay. Ron is here, Captain Ron, standing in for Chanel until she can get in, and he gets to be a part of the first story, which is
Mm, I was
something.
I was dying to go on for this too.
That's right.
So
Mikey
it's
P's in the house. Woot woot,
Of
Mikey
course,
P.
isn't he always? And I guess what I can't even see
The comments.
the comments.
Dang.
Yeah,
As moderator or what? Or it's just you're having issues?
as any, I can't see him at all.
Weird. I don't get it.
Yeah,
Well, maybe if you got onto YouTube, you could see the comments. That's Rhode Island Broadcasting, or maybe from Facebook, RI Broadcasting. I always have no problem seeing it on Facebook for sure. I haven't tried on YouTube. Twitch, of course, which is our little stealth viewership place, RI underscore broadcasting, where we got lots of viewers there. And of course, check us out on Patreon. Support our show. Get yourself a mug, get yourself a sticker. That is RI Broadcasting on Patreon. Okay, let's dive into it because I think this one's going to take me a little bit of time to get through. And this gives Chanel some time to get logged on. This gets you some
and
time to be
she's
a
on.
part of
She's
this.
now trying to figure out the video portion of this. So let's
Oh,
let's
she's
bring her in. I think she's trying to figure it out.
okay. Well, that's good.
This is why we love live TV. This
This
is
is
it.
why we love it. Yes, because all the problems are everyone else's problems as well.
Yeah.
One
All
minute.
right, so rotate. There you go. There we go.
Mm.
Nice.
Yeah, is that
Welcome.
better? Yeah. Finally. Sorry. Thank you.
Yes,
It does this sometimes.
I
It's
mean, I mean,
this
I
is
mean.
this is this is one of the reasons why I do this show because we're from everywhere, right? I'm here in United States, New England. Becky, Canada, and Chanel, UK.
Okay.
mhm,
So that's pretty neat. I think I like that. Different perspectives from all
for
over the
sure.
place. So you know,
And I was telling Ron outside of the show that Mikey P sent me a news article this morning from Canada that I didn't even know about because Canada blocks our news. So it's nice to like hear outsiders' perspective on my own country. So it's
Oh
pretty
my
yeah.
God.
So I'm gonna leave you two with it now that
Thank
you're
you.
all set and squared away.
Are you sure you don't
Um,
want to be here for this
I,
story?
well, I'll be in the background. I got to figure out this chat thing that we
Perfect.
can't
Oh,
seem to
okay.
get. So I'll figure that out. So all right, have a great
Awesome.
show.
Well, we
Enjoy,
will.
Thank
everybody.
you. Hi, Becky.
Hi, Chanel. Nice to
Hi,
finally do a show with you.
I know. Lovely to meet you.
Yes,
Have I
you
just gone
also.
opened my camera?
No,
Oh, God.
it looks good. It looks straight on.
Oh, is
It's
it?
not
Okay, cool.
rotated. Yeah,
Okay.
it's good. Okay,
Cool.
so I'm gonna jump into the story because it might take us a little bit of time, which is good
Of
because my
course.
other two stories are like 2 seconds long. This is
Okay.
about Abercrombie and Fitch, as you can see from my background here.
Mhm.
Do you guys have Abercrombie in
Yes.
in UK? You do.
Yes,
Okay.
we do. In London. Yeah, for sure.
So it's an international company at this point. So as you can see this little picture here, the CEO, he's arrested very recently.
Yeah,
And
Japanese. Hmm.
it's a weird story. Like I was reading a bunch of different articles about it yesterday, and it's like I just feel like it goes so much further down the rabbit hole than we actually thought it did. So I'm going to start reading some stuff, jump in at any point.
Okay.
Be
I
ready.
don't know much, so I'm listening too.
Perfect. You will be just as appalled as I was then,
Yeah,
probably.
probably.
So here, I gotta hold up my phone. So Mike Jeffries, he was the former CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch from 92 to 2014. So he's retired since. He's been arrested on sex trafficking and interstate prostitution charges.
Oh, okay.
He was arrested in Florida, probably where he was retiring. Two associates of him, Matthew Smith of West Palm Beach and James Jacobson of Wisconsin. And I believe Matthew Smith is his lover as well. I
Oh, okay.
that. But they were also charged in arrested in connection with these charges. It says that Jeffries, I'll call them by their last name. So Jeffries and Smith made their initial court appearance just this week on Tuesday. But Jeffries has got bail already, while the other two sit
Mhm.
in detention. And I believe his bail was something like $50 million. But like,
Wow.
dude's a flight risk for sure. Like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't he be? Go
How
to
did
one
he
of
get
their
that?
what's that?
Uh-huh. No, how did he get that bail? Has my money talks? I don't know.
Well, this is America. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I would say so.
It's just
Um,
that Diddy offered quite a lot of money, right?
yes,
And he didn't
and
get bail.
didn't. I
So,
know. I know. Like, a lot of people online are saying, well, one's a white guy, one's a black guy. I don't
yeah,
know.
I was about to say that. Yeah. Is
For
there a
sure.
racial issue here? Yeah.
It very
Mhm.
possibly, like, I almost wonder though when you get to that sort of superstardom, does race
Mhm.
even play into it? Because, P. Diddy is like a major celebrity.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, I
Mhm.
don't know. Maybe they have more on him than they're
That's what I
actually
was about to
letting
say.
on.
Yeah. That there's a
Yeah.
lot more charges probably against Diddy
Ye
than this
I
guy.
would say so, like, there's definitely a lot more victims because I think, like, some
Yeah.
3,000 people have come forward with
Yeah.
Diddy, and I think here I only read about 15 people who have come
Okay.
forward, but still,
Which is
heinous
still a
crime.
lot, yeah, of course, in the nature of it, but yeah, I
Yes,
see what you mean.
heinous.
So yeah, you can't really compare the two side by side, can you?
I mean,
No.
it is sex crimes though, so
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
sorry, I'm reading further down my notes. It was 10,000,000
Mhm.
bail, but still, like, that's
Oh,
a lot of
but
money.
still, a lot
That
of
is a
money, yeah.
lot of money.
Mhm.
So he said he's been confined to home detention with a GPS
Okay,
monitoring system.
fair enough.
He also has to surrender his passport. So, I mean,
Okay.
that's good. I'm glad they're doing their
Mhm.
due diligence. I don't know if I agree with bail for these like big sex crimes, like
Yeah,
or
not
or
if they've got
murder.
evidence as well, quite concrete
Yeah, yeah,
evidence.
exactly. So
So
it says that the three men are faced with sex trafficking charges as well as 15 counts of interstate prostitution tied to 15 alleged victims. I mean, 15, I think there's going to be a lot more coming out. Like, I don't think that it's
yeah,
just 15. I
probably.
think it's just, and we'll hear about that further on as I go into the
Okay.
list. So it says that Smith, like I said, was his lover, and then Jacobson, the third guy, was described as the recruiter for this international sex trafficking prostitution business, and that was from 2008 to 2015. So quite a
Okay.
few years. It
Yeah.
says that they organize these, and then quote, sex events. England, France, Italy, Morocco, St. Bart's, New York City, the Hamptons, and not just for Smith and Jeffries, but also for other
Okay.
associates and things like
Wow.
that. So it's got a very like Epstein feel to it, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
like we're
Mhm.
entertaining with
Entertainment, yeah, business entertainment purposes.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
not that I
Not just
necessarily agree with, like, prostitution.
mhm,
I don't know that anyone really goes into it willingly.
mhm,
However, um, when they're being paid for their services and they're there
mhm.
with their consent,
Yes, that's
and
different. Yeah,
it
mm,
is
it's
different,
completely different.
if
Yeah.
it's, like, some girls trying to pay some bills
Bills,
kinda
yeah,
thing,
of course.
there's a little bit
Yeah,
more.
to it. Yeah, that's
Right.
not the same story as someone being a victim of sex
Right.
trafficking. Yeah, I mean, I'm not
I
saying they're not victims of societal
Oh, for
victims, but
sure.
if you are forced, it's a completely different story to someone who's
Yeah.
consenting to do this for money.
And,
So,
like, just wait till you hear the circumstances behind it because, uh, these guys were paid,
mhm,
but I mean, it just goes so much deeper, it says. So, It says that the men who attended these events were led to believe it could help their modeling opportunities or help their careers, and that when they weren't complying to the requests for
Mm,
certain sex acts, it could harm their careers. So, as you can
well,
see
okay.
behind me, everyone knows the
Hmm.
Abercrombie of the 2000s. I don't know how much further back it went, but
Okay.
it was shirtless dudes. They were hot.
Yeah, well,
Like,
yeah, of course, yeah, good looking
so
guys. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
right, and it didn't have, like, a huge emphasis on women, really.
No.
Even
Okay,
though they
no, it
even
is
though they
quite
had
male.
women's clothes,
Mhm. Yeah,
but the emphasis
the
was
advertising. I
yeah,
do think male. Yeah, when I
yeah,
think of
hot dudes
marketing.
without a shirt.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it
Hmm.
says that the youngest of these alleged victims was 19 years old,
Oh
prosecutor
gosh.
said, and that there was many of the victims who were around that age, but yeah, the youngest was definitely 19. So, I mean, it is nice to know that they were of age,
Hmm.
again, because
Yeah, that's true. That makes a big difference. But then, yeah, I mean, age is arbitrary. Is a number. It's just, it's a crime's a crime, and
right. I mean,
you
I
know.
remember being 19, like, I thought I
Hmm.
was an adult, but I was still a
Oh God,
child,
yeah,
you know?
100%. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yep,
like, I easily would have been lured to an event thinking it
yeah.
was going to help my modeling career.
But then
Uh,
again, yeah, I come from that background. I mean, I was a dancer, so there's
oh, right.
lots of castings you go to as a model, stroke dancer, and you'll have photographers and certain people trying to get you to do topless photos when you just come in for basic headshots and for lengths for your CV, so you can
Wow.
make their cards to send out to
Right.
agents
Right.
and to castings. And it's not, to be honest, this was back in what we talking early 90s, okay,
Mhm.
and it was normalized, which
Mhm.
in the performing arts and entertainment industry, that you may have to do certain things to just get a little bit ahead. And
Mhm.
I know it sounds bad, but
No, I get
that was
it.
the reality of life. And the same way that women working in corporate may
Mhm.
have to have a boss, which is usually male, on her side to
Mhm.
get a promotion. You may have to flirt a little to, wear a slightly shorter skirt or comply or
Yeah.
don't say anything about the boss, giving a little slap on the bum now and again. And do you know what I mean? An
Yes.
inappropriate touching or words being used, but you just kept your mouth shut because your
'Cause that was the
career,
time.
this person held the power, right?
Yeah.
To
I never had any bosses like that, but
thank God.
I
Yeah.
worked in construction for a lot of
Oh,
years in the office, like, as
construction.
yeah, like, as the purchaser, and
Oh,
then
okay.
I would deal with, like, the site people,
Hmm.
and, some of the stuff these guys would say to me was gross, but
I
it's
can
like,
imagine. Hmm.
either I go and tell on them, and
Yeah.
I'm viewed as like, "Oh, she can't take a joke, she's a
Yeah.
bitch,"
Joke.
or
Hmm.
whatever, or I
Hmm.
just shut up and take it.
Yeah.
And so for a lot of years, that's what I did. Like, I don't work
Yeah.
in that industry now, but, like,
Yeah.
yeah, you put up with a lot,
You
for
do.
the
Yeah.
sake of your career as a woman.
Hmm.
But, I mean, I
Hmm.
guess
Yeah.
too, in the modeling world, men, as well, not just
You
women.
do. That was never talked about. It was always we were warned as females to
Mhm.
what to be wary. I'd never heard a guy.
Yeah,
I've never heard of a man being told the same warnings. You see what I mean? But obviously, it was
right.
all going on under the
I
clothes.
I definitely think it was going on a lot more
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
we
Then we
ever
thought,
heard
yeah.
about. And I think
But this,
there's also a stigma against it too, as the man
there
who is
is, yeah.
assaulted or raped or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Of course.
he probably wants to hide it because he feels like less than a man. He feels like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gay now."
Yeah.
No, like,
Yeah.
it wasn't your fault. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's hidden a lot more. I think women are
The women's,
uh,
yeah, of
more
course.
open to
It's more
talking
open to
about it.
speak. Yeah, it's more acceptable for a woman to speak about being victimized in that way.
Yes,
Whereas, yeah, a
exactly.
male. It's the same with domestic violence when it comes to male
For sure.
being the victim. They kind
Yeah.
of tend to keep their mouth shut.
Well,
Yeah.
because they go like this. You got
You
hit by a woman.
got it
Okay.
by a woman. Yeah. I
Or
mean,
like, I'm thinking too, like when teachers sleep with their students,
oh
when
yeah.
it's a
Mhm.
male with a
Male,
child
a
female, you're
child
like, "Oh,
male.
disgusting." But when
Yeah.
it's
Oh
a
yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
when it's
Female
a
teacher.
woman,
Yeah.
like
It's acceptable. Much more
there's
acceptable.
yes, there's a South Park episode about it where,
Yeah. My son showed me that.
yeah, where they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this he slept with or she slept with him," and they're like, Oh, that hot teacher?
Yeah.
Nice. And like, no, it's sexual assault. Nice.
That's yeah, exactly. It's exactly the same crime. It's
It's
just the
exactly.
gender bias, is
Yeah.
completely. But I'm glad things are starting to equal out, and that men are having a chance to who feel victimized and who are the victims of these type of crimes
Yeah, they're able
feel
to
like
come
they
out
can come
about it.
forward.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, let me just go more through my notes here. Okay, so
Okay.
it says that the men brought to these events were required to sign non-disclosure agreements,
Um,
surrender their wallets, so their means of getting home, their cell phones during the event.
wow.
Yeah, and it says that the three men being charged, they're alleged to have recruited, hired, and paid an exclusive set of household staff members to facilitate and supervise the events. So, who also would have had to sign non-disclosure agreements and things
Yeah.
like that. It says that the staff members provided the men who attended with alcohol, this is so gross, muscle relaxants known as poppers, lubricant, Viagra, condoms, uh, and a bunch of other things, probably toys, probably like the
Yeah.
1,000 dildos like at Diddy's house and
Yeah. Yeah.
1,000
It's
bottles of
sounding
lube.
very similar shopping list. Yeah.
Yes. Now
Gosh.
it does say that, like I said before, that they paid the men to attend the events,
Okay.
but it sounds like they had no idea what they were coming
What was
for. I'll get more into
involved? Yeah.
that later.
Okay.
They
Okay.
also had employed a security service to administer the non-disclosure agreements, to conduct background checks on the guys coming,
Oh.
monitor, and of course, if necessary, intimidate the victims.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it says that there was occasions when witnesses threatened to expose or sue them, for the illegal acts that had happened there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the security company then would surveil and intimidate these people, which would secure their silence. So this is why it probably went on for decades without
Mhm.
anybody know about it. It says that the three men charged used burner phones to communicate. Listen, if you have to use a burner phone, you
Yeah,
know you're
then
up to no
no.
good. You
Yeah,
know
that's no
you're
good.
up
Yeah.
to no good.
Of course.
Crazy. It's crazy. It says that
Oh,
Jeffreyson
wow.
spent millions on sex trafficking, millions of dollars,
God.
paying staff members to paying for travel to paying to maintain secrecy. I mean, at least he's paying for it, not just taking them.
And drugging
Um,
them and doing whatever. Yeah, and then
ye
threatening to keep your mouth shut.
yeah, exactly. Like, uh, I don't know. It says that they used a referral system and an interview process to find these guys,
Oh,
which the men who were not allegedly preyed upon were not informed about the details of the sex events before they attended. During those tryouts, so the
yeah.
casting couch.
Casting, yeah, as I say, probably thought it was auditions, castings,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't imagine having an audition to go work at Abercrombie. Can I give change back? Perfect. Can I take my shirt off? Perfect. Like,
Yeah.
do I need to
Oh,
sit on
God.
the casting couch here? But it says that Jacobson, so the recruiter, typically had
Mhm.
candidates engage in commercial sex acts with him. This was their audition. So it literally is the casting couch.
Yeah.
It says that at the events, they were pressured to drink and consume these muscle relaxants on more than one occasion. And when the men did not consent, Jeffries and Smith violated the body integrity of these men by subjecting them or continuing to subject them to invasive sexual and violent contact by
Oh,
body parts and other objects.
okay.
So basically, I'm picturing this. They're getting them drunk. They've given them muscle relaxer. You're not supposed to
Mhm.
mix the two. There's drugs at
Okay.
this party. There's booze at this party. These guys are
Yeah.
high as kites, and they're being taken advantage of by these old men.
And it's just
Disgusting.
sounding like those who didn't comply or didn't consume this stuff were just forced upon.
Yeah, literally, probably just
Yeah.
drugged
Yeah.
further. Yeah, it says that Jeffries and Smith also ordered their staff members to inject some victims with a prescription grade erection inducing substance for the purpose of causing the men to engage in sex acts if they were otherwise physically incapable or unwilling. I mean, keep in mind that I'm sure a lot of these men were straight and have zero
Yeah.
attraction
To
to
men, to
this
other men.
old
Yeah.
white dude.
Yeah.
So, like, so they're physically giving them liquid Viagra, prescription
Yeah.
Viagra in shot form, like
And you don't, yeah.
jabbing them so that these men can get erections. So it says that they have dozens of witnesses who may testify, which is great. That's what the prosecution
Okay.
says.
Yeah.
It says that powerful individuals for too long now have trafficked and abused for their own sexual pleasure. Young people with resources or few resources and a dream. And, that dream is
Yeah.
of
Poor
securing
thing.
a career in fashion
Career
or
modeling or
entertainment.
fashion. Yeah, of course.
It's terrible. So it says he warned people to think they can exploit or coerce by using the so-called casting couch system, like we talked about, to
Yeah.
prepare to trade that couch for a bed in federal prison. So that's his
Yeah.
warning to,
Hmm.
celebrities are doing it, but it's going on nonstop. Like how many women who thought they were getting into modeling ended up in porn, or thought
Yeah,
they were
I
getting
can
into
imagine.
acting,
Yeah. Hmm.
ended up in
Yeah.
porn. I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm sure.
So
Yeah.
I mean, this goes on and on and on. This like I still have like tons
Loads.
here,
Oh
but
my gosh. This is.
yeah, I'll just take a little points here and there. It says the
Hmm.
BBC published a report a
Okay.
year ago, actually, saying that Jeffries had been accused of exploiting men at parties that he had hosted. It said that 12 men had described having attended and organizing events that included sex acts with Jeffries and his partner. And that took place between 2009, 2015. Some of the men
Hmm.
said that they were exploited and did not participate willingly. And so that was, a year ago that came out. So why are we only
Okay.
hearing about it now,
Now, yeah.
right?
Maybe they've got more concrete evidence. There must have been
I
something going on behind the scenes where
I'm
they were trying to
guessing
gather more
so.
evidence. Yeah. Or to get
May
concrete.
I
Yeah.
mean, you would have to. It's such a
A
lofty
big,
allegation. Like
yeah,
you
yeah,
can't
it
just
is.
throw that out there. But you know what Ron and I were saying on Tuesday is like when stuff
Mhm.
like this comes out, there's usually some truth to it, right?
Yeah,
Like it's
you mean when you get the initial story,
yeah,
like, yeah, initially,
yeah.
before the evidence is like revealed. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no smoke without a fire, right? As they say.
Exactly. That's the best way to put I think Rod actually said that on Tuesday. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, when you have people coming out and multiple people at, different times coming out saying, this person did this, and the person's denying it. No, that's not true. Well, it probably is true. Like,
Mhm. Well, there's some truth, yeah, definitely somewhere. It's horrible though, because when just say it was completely false,
mhm,
that kind of sticks with that person. Do you see what I mean? And
that's
obviously it's
true.
media. There's media law.
Well, of
As in
course.
you have to. It's alleged, against that person. It's not actual facts. It's not actual news.
And that's
But
fair, and I think we saw during the Me Too movement that a lot of
mhm,
careers were killed because of
yeah,
allegations. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not saying that everyone was innocent by any means,
mhm.
but I also think when you are a celebrity, you are used to getting everything you want at any
Oh
point.
yeah,
No one fights you. Women are throwing them, not just women,
themselves
men are
at
throwing
you.
themselves, people
Mhm,
are throwing themselves at you
mhm.
nonstop. You can have any person you want to have sex with.
Yeah.
So when you pick someone, you're probably on drugs, you're probably drinking, you throw yourself at this person, they don't want it, they come out and your career is over. I mean,
Mhm.
it's sort of like they've been conditioned to believe that they can get whatever they want. So
Yeah, the power.
I'm
Mhm.
I'm not saying they're faultless by any
No,
means,
no,
but it's
they're
like
humans like the rest of us, right? And
yes.
power can go to our heads,
Yes.
unfortunately, in
That's
the
for
worst
sure.
way.
Yes, definitely. So, yeah, I'll wrap up that Abercrombie story because it took me 20 minutes to go through, but yeah,
Sorry.
it's it's pretty wild, and I think, like, I mean, let's be honest, the closer we get to this American election, the more stories like this I think are going to come out because it is a distraction piece. I think a lot goes on
Mm,
in the
yeah,
shadows that we don't know about because they're distracting us. This is a huge story. Of
yeah,
course, they're letting it out right now.
yeah. I didn't think of that.
Oh,
Wow, how
girl, I
clever.
am such a conspiracy theorist. I got my tinfoil hat on. We saw it during the 2020 election as well with, the insanity of COVID and the Epstein stuff. It was like such a distraction. And then you're like, oh, yeah.
See.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
that's my personal thought.
That I kind of agree with you there. Yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, it is very much.
Hmm.
Everyone will talk about that
Well,
instead of
yeah.
watching what the politicians are doing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think a
Mhm.
lot of stuff goes on in the shadows for sure.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
oh,
goodness. sort of dropping things. Carry on.
So I hear you've got a segment on Today in History. I'm excited to hear about that.
I do. Oh my gosh! Right. So, I mean, I'm not a frequent flyer. Are you? Do you fly much?
No, not really. I'm too poor.
Well, it's Concorde. They did the last Concorde plane flew today, 24th of
nice.
October. Yeah, in 2003.
Oh,
And I was
nice.
checking to see like why did they stop Concordes in the first place?
Right.
And apparently it cost too much money.
Oh, I can imagine.
It cost, apparently it was so much fuel that it used, and it used to shatter windows of houses on the ground underneath. Yeah.
Wow.
What?
That is wild.
Yeah. So apparently Air France had a massive crash. I think I remember it happening in 2000.
Wow.
In Air France, and that was kind of signaled the end, that we need to get rid of these. It's too many accidents now. Yeah.
Wow.
Let me get my notes up. Sorry, I had it up, but
good.
yeah, it was. Oh gosh, here we go. It was just so. Oh my gosh, where are we? Notes. But I was just amazed to see, because I've never been on Concorde, and I remember as a kid thinking, they're super fast, right, and super slick.
Yeah.
But what do we fly on now? Like 747s or
that's right.
like those. Yeah. I mean, they seem safer, right?
Is it cheap to fly from England to other places? Like all my family's in England, and I know my cousin, he's like, yeah, we're just whipping down to and now I can't think of where, somewhere tropical near Spain.
Oh yeah, it's very cheap. Very, very cheap.
Yeah.
Like under £100. You can get to Spain, Portugal, Greece, Turkey even.
So jealous.
Yeah, anywhere in Europe is pretty much under 100 if you look for flights. And sometimes there's really cheap deals, like £50 each way. Like if I'm really like off peak with someone like Ryanair, or I don't want to be advertising that, but yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
Easy Jets and that. Yeah, they are much cheaper airlines. They're no frills,
Yeah.
You go in, you sit down, you buckle up, you go, you get off.
You bring your own water. Yeah,
you bring your own stuff and all that, and minimal luggage, that kind of thing. Yeah. So, but it is really cheap. And I'm not much of a flyer, but I love the Eurostar. I'm a Eurostar girl. But I need to travel more. That's one of my New Year's resolutions.
Girl, you have the option to go to all of Europe. Go for cheap.
Do you know what? When something's on your doorstep, you just feel like, I'll go anytime. Do you know what I mean? You take your time. You're like, yeah, I'll go soon. I mean, I go back to Paris like now and again when I feel, but that's an easy one. That's just an hour up the road, it feels like.
Yeah,
back again.
And
yeah.
you can drive too, can you not? Is there not a
You can, yeah. You use the, is it the ferry? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you carry the ferry over the channel and you're there. It's nice and easy. But yeah, hang on. I've got my notes up. So it was the crash in 2000, Air France. It killed 109 people on board. Yeah.
Wow.
And 4 people on the ground.
Jeez.
And that's when the industry was like, no more. And so it was the last plane flew 2003, today.
Wow.
And yeah, which was just like, wow. But what I did see, what really amazed me was that it was, about the amount of the stuff that would happen on the ground to people. It was, the cost. It cost 70 million British pounds to run, to open the Concorde program, to have these planes in the first place in 1962.
70 million pounds. So that's like 120 million American dollars.
In 2023, that would be 1.68 billion British pounds.
Jeez.
In 2023. That's how much it costs to run the Concorde.
And for the Americans, you can pretty much double that number. Well, at least for Canadians, we can double that number to be Canadian dollars. Yeah, our Canada dollar is the worst. But the Americans is probably I don't know, 1.5 or something.
I'm just like, why? So obviously it's cheaper, fuel, everything is just much cheaper to run the planes and safer.
That's crazy.
So That's my little thing of today.
Oh, that's cool. I remember the Concorde when I was a kid, but I
So do
actually
I.
I don't remember even thinking about it since, and I guess that makes sense. I was
Hmm.
still a
Yeah,
teenager
same,
then.
yeah. I just assume that I'm not a plane. I'm not like an aviation girl, so I have no idea what planes are called. But once you get a flight and you kind of oh yeah, it just never seems to be a Concorde. But I just assumed in my head
Yeah,
that was for like I don't know, maybe more expensive flights would use Concorde.
right. Yeah,
If you know what I mean, like I thought they were still around. So
right. Yeah, like one of
for
those massive
someone's
planes.
using,
Yeah,
obviously not. Yeah.
that makes
So
sense. They just have their private planes to take all their
yeah.
trafficked children to different
One
islands.
day, one day I'll have one, private jet, do my own thing,
So
my pilot.
I'm married now, but I dated a guy before my husband,
Oh,
and he came from a very wealthy family, and I remember him saying, "Oh yeah, my dad wants to get a private jet because we do a ton of travel, but you know, the gas is just so or the fuel's so expensive, it would be like $1 million a year." And I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy." Fast forward to like years later, I've not so much reconnected with him, but I creep him sometimes. They definitely
oh,
have
so
a
yeah,
private
yeah,
jet now.
definitely. They do.
They oh yeah, they do. And I'm like,
How the other half live, eh?
yeah, exactly. I'm like, "Oh, can I get on, like, like, Spirit Airlines from Las Vegas to whatever for, $25?" And it's, like, the worst airline to be on, apparently, according
Oh,
to these American boys.
oh,
But,
wow.
yeah. Oh, well. Okay, so in other news here,
Hmm.
so I live in Canada, as you know. I live in a place called, well, just outside of Edmonton. It's our capital city of Alberta. We have the biggest mall in Canada here. It was at one
Oh,
point the biggest mall in the world. It has since been beat out by the Mall of America in, I want to say Minnesota. And then there's also one in either Japan or China that's bigger now. But either way, it used to be the biggest mall in the world. It's pretty huge. It's only about 15 minutes from my house.
okay.
It has like tons of stores. It has an amusement park, a water park, a skating rink, a gun range, go karts. Like it
Wow.
has all the things, right? But just uh, earlier this month, well, a couple weeks ago, I guess, $115,000 jewelry heist went down.
Wow.
Like, I mean, it's weird because you grow up going to a place and it's like it's secure. I let my kids go.
Okay.
And
It
then you
feels
have,
safe.
yeah, it does feel safe. And a lot of stuff does go down there. But I've never heard anything like this before. But it says
Okay.
that police are looking for a man and woman, and there's a photo of them, and they do not look very old, in their 20s for sure.
Ah, okay.
They robbed an Edmonton jewelry store at the beginning of this month. They walked into the West Edmonton Mall around 6 o'clock
Okay.
and went into a jewelry store. The police are saying that the woman somehow distracted the employee. I don't know what she was doing. She must have been like flashing him or something because it said that the man that she was with snuck behind the counter and stole a whole like it would have had to have been a bunch of chains, gold chains, to get $115,000 worth.
No.
And then they left the store. So
No. Are you sure? Like, how
yeah,
can he get behind the counter, take all that
right.
stuff with the staff right there?
Well, and I'm thinking too, like in jewelry stores, it's in glass counters.
Hmm. Yeah.
Chains are metal. All I'm picturing is like cling, 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 cling.
Yeah. You would hear, unless, do you think that someone in store had anything to
Oh, I
do?
hadn't thought that, but maybe. Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean? That sounds like an
Yeah.
inside job to me.
Right. Yeah, because really, like, how would you? And
Yeah,
I was like digging through comments online and stuff like that to try and figure out what store, because there's a ton of jewelry stores at the mall.
yeah.
And I cannot figure it out at all. But like, you know what a jewelry store is like? It's open. Like
It's open. Yeah, it is.
it's
Yeah, yeah.
huge display cases, and
Hmm.
it's people everywhere, and it's bright. It's like
You've got the windows,
industrial
and
lighting.
they're pretty transparent because you've got all the
Exactly.
lights and the display of all the
Exactly.
lovely stuff. So
And 6 p.m. at West Edmonton Mall is very busy because people are off work, kids are out of school. It's not
uh
like people weren't around.
no, okay, yeah, 6 o'clock in the evening. That's
Yeah.
pretty. Yeah, it's not. It's not. That's not closing time, right?
No, 9 o'clock
No.
is.
9. Okay. So yeah, so kind of in the middle. That's kind of peak shopping time post
Totally.
school. Yeah.
Especially as we get closer to Christmas. That mall
Yeah.
is
Mhm.
insane during
Oh yeah, of
Christmas time.
course.
So,
Yeah.
like, I don't know how Ron saying cameras everywhere. Yes, 1000%.
Yeah.
Like, they have pictures of these guys, like I said, they don't look very old by any means. You know, the guy
Mhm.
is described as about 5'8", so that would be about 173 centimeters for our metric system. Short, dark hair, brown eyes, black sweater, gray pants, like very
Okay.
generic looking. The woman was 5'4", long dark
Mhm.
hair, brown eyes, wearing a black shirt as well. But they weren't
Okay.
masked either.
Well,
Like,
that's like I say, they weren't covered up. So
no, you can
was this
definitely see their
it
faces.
it doesn't seem pre-planned,
Yeah.
but then maybe it was just an opportunity. Maybe they were opportunists and
Yeah,
the
maybe.
opportunity was there and they
Like,
just
I wonder
took
if you
it.
can. No, it's hard when I have the AI background on.
Oh
You
yeah.
can't really
Mhm.
see. Ugh.
Oh, what you're holding. Oh yeah, I see. I see a little bit. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, you can definitely see their faces, but
Right.
to date, it's been 2 weeks, I think, since this happened. No
Okay.
one has come forward saying their names. So, like, someone knows
Th-
them, I'm
Are
sure of
they not
it.
locals? No?
You would think. I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
I don't know what to make of it because it just seems that they either had it was either an inside job, but it doesn't seem planned because they weren't masked.
Yeah,
But then they've walked in peak shopping time
yeah,
when there could be. I'm sure there's loads of security guards that would like grab them on the
100%,
way out.
100%.
Like what? That just
It's
seems too easy.
now, keep in mind, in Canada, the culture is very different than the States, for example, and I don't know how it is
Mhm.
in England.
What? How do you
We're
mean?
not a super corporal culture like the States is. Like, my cousin was just here from the States. She was telling us, she's like, the police officer in your high school? And I'm like, no. She's like, like the one that's in your high school? I'm like, why would there be a police officer in my high school? So it's
Yeah,
it's it's
it's
different, and I don't
different.
know if
Yeah.
I don't know if England's like that, but
Our schools are starting to have that now. Yeah,
yeah,
it's newer,
I
but
don't think it's
yeah,
a bad idea.
I
But
don't
I
like
don't
it,
think
but
I
mm-mm.
think we're more trusting here. So,
Okay.
or maybe just crime is a little lower here, so we
Yeah,
don't
probably.
have
Yeah.
the same sort of security as like somewhere in the States would. Probably in the States, there
Mhm.
would be a security guard in every jewelry store, I would
No,
think.
we wouldn't have that here, but we would have them dotted about the sort of corridors, like the
Mhm.
walkways.
Yes.
So they wouldn't be necessarily at the store not in a mall
Mhm.
situation.
Right.
Um, no, we ours is a bit more relaxed as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Um,
figured you guys
yeah,
were more like us.
yeah.
I know at this mall there's 2 levels, and then on the bottom level there's like a big water piece that has like a huge boat in it.
Oh
And
wow.
so I've seen people jump in from the top multiple times, and then alarm will go off and they'll climb out, and then I see security guards running after them.
Yeah.
So, like, there's
Okay.
definitely security there, but
Yeah, okay. That's how ours would be. It would be dotted about the actual mall, not necessarily specific
store
shops
to store.
within.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh
Well, it's
wow.
crazy anyway. Like, I've never heard anything like that. There's been shootings at that store, there's been fights, lockdowns, things like that, but I've never heard of a jewelry heist. So it's kind
Right.
of
Oh, so
it's kind of
new.
kind
Yeah.
of funny because, like, I don't think it's good that they did it, but, like, good on them. Like, they were able to pull that off. Like, I'm shocked. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Not good.
wild. Yep, wild.
Update us if you hear more.
Yeah, I
I'll give
will
it a
for
little
sure.
Google. Yeah, and have a
Yeah,
look later.
for sure. I will definitely keep us posted. Okay,
So
take us to the
how close is this place to you? Is it near you, your where you live?
yeah, about 30 kilometers.
Oh,
Not
okay.
far.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
15
just up
minutes.
the road.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
it's not far at all. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, today's National Food Day, is that?
Yep. National Food
Okay. I
Day.
love food.
So do I. Well, I should only eat a lot at once, but I
Mhm.
sometimes I love the wrong foods.
Yeah, of course.
So
Ron has
national
picked this very healthy assortment here. This is not what we're talking about when
food.
we talk
Oh,
food day, Ron.
well, National Food Day is celebrating the convenience. It was brought about after the World War, World War
Okay.
Two. Yeah, World War Two, not one. um, when women were, us housewives were actually had jobs now.
Mhm.
So we'd not be home to prepare food, healthy meals for the family. So
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
was the birth, 1971 was the birth of prepackaged foods, what we call
Ugh.
here in England like microwave meals, or like this frozen foods. Back then, it would have been the frozen foods, right, before the microwave.
And the
So
beginning of the
of the
obesity epidemic and
yes, of
the
health crisis
disease
and
epidemic in
diabetes and everything else, heart
yeah.
disease and all the
Yeah,
rest. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So that's what. So National Food Day was brought. This was 1971 that all these like prepackaged foods came along,
Mhm.
frozen meals to make it more convenient for working families when you have both parents working
Right.
and you need a quick family meal in the
Yep.
evening. And then you had what's it called? So you had 1975. It was like the Americans. Yeah, it was the Americans actually. National Food. The scientists were worried about what people were putting inside their bodies, and that families didn't realize what was in these prepackaged food. So they brought about labeling, for nutrition labeling. So that's when that first started in
Well, it's nice that
1975.
they cared back then
They
because 50
actually
years
cared then.
later.
Yeah, just in time for when I was born. Actually, I was born in 1975. So.
Oh, nice.
So that was the labeling part. So I mean, I don't know about you're in Canada or in the States for people that are listening, but in the UK, we're constantly having updates on what can go on labels or what should be on packaging, on food packaging, and what should be declared and what shouldn't, and how you declare something. I mean, at the moment, we've got a sugar tax thing going on here. So any companies that have any drinks and sort of beverages and food that have high contents of salt and sugar, they get taxed higher by the government. So
I don't think we have that here.
You don't have that here. Okay. So a lot of things are now lower sugared, low sugar, and some things don't taste the same. I can tell you right now. Like for instance, my Fanta is not good.
Oh, really?
It's not good. Fanta Fruit Twist used to be like my go-to. I don't drink alcohol, but that was like my thing.
Yeah.
It don't taste the same.
Here's my issue with that. Like, I think, yes, less sugar is better. Like, you probably don't know my backstory, but I just had cancer last year.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry.
so, like, I've been
Mhm.
trying to avoid at least processed refined sugar, the white
Okay.
sugar, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, you can reduce it, but if you're still putting it in your products, you're still not helping anybody. Like,
Yeah.
let's put
Mm-hmm.
real products in. And like, I mean, a Fanta, like orange food coloring, right? Or red
Yeah.
and yellow
Yeah.
food
Mm-hmm.
coloring and whatever else. So it's like, I think like these places are doing the bare minimum to make it look like they care. Like, oh, we're
Mm-hmm.
doing less sugar, but like, what about all the other shit you put in food? That's how I feel, you know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I know what you mean. I mean, I don't know if they just replace it with artificial sweeteners, but
Ugh.
then I don't know what that's doing to us. Are we the guinea pigs for all
Well,
these
yeah, of
new?
course we are.
We are like the guinea pigs, right? I
Right.
mean, to be honest, you can't avoid it because you have to eat something, you
I
know?
know. And who
And
has time to have their own garden and raise their own animals? Like, I know.
exactly. With as much as you might say about the how much do they care, we've just switched governments here. I know no major political talk, but we've switched to Labour government now earlier this year, which is considered in this country quite a nanny state, that they care too much and
Mm,
don't let adults be adults and just let us pick what we want. So they try
interesting.
to they're known for trying to take away quite a lot of things that really should be
Wow.
up to
And it
us.
was
Where
voted in like that?
they voted him because it was just like the last government just was not good and nobody
Okay.
wanted them anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I get that.
it's the post-COVID drama.
Of
So
course.
basically, long story short, COVID rules that were implied in the UK were not kept by the government and they were exposed and everyone wanted them out. So
Right.
this is like the next best thing is who is in now. And then yeah, it's not like who anyone really wants, but it's like better than what we had. It's that kind of environment.
Yes.
So, but they are known. To be fair, if you are working class and you are struggling,
Mhm.
this government, Labour, is known to be the one that helps more,
Mhm. I
whereas
mean,
the other one is
I
more like looks after the people with money.
right. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Like, majority of people are labor class,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Like, at
Yeah,
least in Canada,
in our
like
country, yeah.
majority, and I'm sure England, yeah, most
Hmm.
developed countries, I would say labor, the middle class sort
The
of
middle
rules.
class and working class, yeah.
The States is a little different because you have, like, a major disparity between your lower class and your
Mm.
your
It,
upper class.
it does
Um,
seem to be.
but for the most part, I would say most people fall into that middle class sort of
Yeah. I
area.
can't say, yeah, it's true. I mean, when you tick the boxes on certain things, you're kind of like, okay, well, I'm kind of middle class, but then I'm kind of working class, but then, you kind of fall in the middle. You're not
Right.
exactly totally broke, but then you're not exactly rolling in it either, you
Listen,
know?
we don't have a private jet, as
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
learned.
we have a private
So
jet.
so
Exactly.
if I don't have a private jet, then I'm
Then I
poor.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So anyway, the point of National Food Day is to promote healthier eating. It's to promote eating real food,
Oh,
as in
okay.
non-processed, fresh food, fruit,
Yeah.
veg, whole grain, that kind of thing. So that's what we're supposed to be doing today. So best thing
Okay.
we can do, hit the shops, hit your local markets. I just came from the market actually before
Amazing.
I became on live. And yeah, fresh fruit, vegetables, that kind of thing. And I've got this thing now which you should be eating seasonally, right? So I'm trying
Mhm.
to do that a bit
Totally.
more, because I say that I try to be the best mum and be meal prepping and all
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. Okay. I tend to do, I don't know how you do your food shop, but I tend to do my weekly shop, or like the beginning of the week, and I'll just kind of buy a variety of meals and then cook whatever I've got time for, depending on the days when I'm very busy or the days when I've got time at home. I'm working from home and I can do a proper meal, like the real
Yes.
food. Um, but now the last few months, I've been trying to be more seasonal and to eat so that I'm eating what nature intended us to eat. Do you
Mhm.
see what I mean? And I
Yeah,
feel like
totally.
my health is better for it.
Oh,
You know,
that's good. That's how it should be,
pumpkin
honestly.
squash, that kind of thing. So I need to learn how to make my mum's pumpkin soup. That's why I need to learn how
Ooh.
to
I
make.
mean, now is the time to do it. Yeah, Ron and I kinda touched on this last, episode about how, when you're eating foods and not even just, seasonally, but, like, local or
Local. Yeah,
non-native to
yeah,
your area, it's like they're
yeah.
having to preserve it just to get it to you. So by the time you get it, it's full of like a million chemicals
Mm,
and it's
yeah,
nothing like it once was. It was picked uh unripe, which is not great
yeah.
either.
Mhm.
And so you're just not getting the nutrients. But if you're eating food that is local, and I mean it's tough in England and it's tough in
It
Canada
is.
because
Mhm.
our weather is not nearly what it is
The
in the
best.
States.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
but there's definitely stuff that we can get
Yeah,
and was saying like in some cases like eating frozen fruit and veg that's organic but it was local to England or local to Canada
yeah.
um, is almost better for you than the fresh stuff because you're not having to bring it in from anywhere else, like it's from
That's
here
true.
and it hasn't been sitting for four
So
weeks
so
before you eat it. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. But there is a few, we're starting to have a lot more farmers markets pop up,
Oh, you're
which
so
have all
lucky.
the fresh
Yeah.
produce. They're not cheap though. They are
No, they're
not
not.
cheap.
But I don't
Yeah.
mind supporting it because I love that kinda stuff, but, like, here it's
Okay.
only, like, once a week and there is one
No,
that
I
goes
think ours are
throughout the
once a week.
winter, but
Ours are
oh, yeah?
once a week as well.
Yeah?
Yeah. But
Oh,
they
okay.
go around different areas. So like if you miss maybe the Baker Street one on Monday, maybe you have to go to Camden, like a mile up the road on
Right.
Tuesday. So
Oh, okay.
if you're prepared to travel a bit around London, you can probably
Yeah,
get one a day. Yeah.
that's nice.
Depending when, yeah, but
I love it.
they're not cheap. That's the thing. And it's I'm not sure what they spray on all this fruits and the pesticides. Is it pesticides and stuff that they put on? I know my mum's become allergic to certain fruits when it itches her mouth and stuff, and I just feel like she's like, I don't know what they're spraying on this stuff, but she was fine forever, and then suddenly allergic reaction. So she buys organic only now, and she's fine with
Glyphosate,
organic.
yeah. Yeah, isn't
Yeah,
it interesting? Yeah, I even
yeah.
when I buy organic, I soak my vegetables and fruits in water with baking soda and
Oh,
vinegar, and I, like, let them sit
okay.
sometimes for, like, an hour, like because you don't know what's on that. Like, apples are always
Yeah.
sticky. It's gross, even organic ones.
Oh,
So,
no.
yeah,
Oh
it's
gosh, I
terrible.
didn't know you can actually soak them. What did you say? Baking soda
Baking
and
soda and
uh-huh.
vinegar. Sometimes I just do it with baking
Okay.
soda and water. Sometimes I
Yeah,
just do
okay.
vinegar. It just kinda
And that
depends,
just
but
cleanses.
yeah, it cleans it out. I use, like, a nicer baking soda as well. I don't use, like,
Okay. Oh,
whatever,
the
Arm&
generic
Hammer.
one. Yeah.
I
Mhm.
use, like, an organic one that doesn't
Okay.
have I don't know, what is it, like, heavy
Whether
metals,
it's
some crap
yeah.
in it.
Okay.
Like, you
It's just
really have
it's
to let it
scary that we don't know what's in what we put
I know.
in our bodies at all. Then we wonder why we become
Yeah.
ill.
For
so over
sure.
time. I mean,
I
I know my parents were very, very wary of the microwave when it came out. It was like,
Oh, yeah.
all that
I'm
radiation
still
going in.
wary of the microwave.
I try not to use it as much, but sometimes
Exactly.
it feels so lazy, and you just throw something
Totally.
in
I
to
know.
warm it up. But yeah,
Um,
anyway, so today is eat real food.
I love
Hmm.
that. I know that, well, a lot of places in Europe, I can't speak for England. I'm guessing England is more like North America. But a lot of places in Europe have very strict standards when it comes to how food is grown, what chemicals
Yeah,
get
we
used
do.
on
Yeah.
it. Like I think, was it Turkey is like, no, not Turkey is not really Europe, is it? Hungary, I think.
I
I
think
can't,
they are part of Europe now. I think you're right. Yeah, I think you are right. But we used to have the EU because we Brexited, didn't we? So
right.
that's all changed. So yeah, we now have our own. It's all the repackaging and all the relabeling, but it used to be like European. We've got put it this way: we have a lot more stuff that we weren't allowed to have when we were in the EU, food wise.
I figured that because now you're
For
more like
instance,
North
like our
America.
eggs. I take the biggest thing, eggs. We always had, I don't know, like that off-white color. That
Oh.
was our eggs, and that's the only eggs I've known my entire life. As
Mm,
soon as we Brexited, we have those white ones that you see in the American cartoons,
interesting.
bright, like
Well,
Tipex white. Yeah, and I've never seen that. And now I was scared to buy them, so I was thinking, do they taste the same as our normal eggs? We weren't allowed to sell those before. Now
interesting.
now the
Well,
supermarkets, you can't avoid it because now if you don't buy them, you just don't have eggs.
I'd probably stick to your brown eggs where you or your off-white ones. Like
I try
anything that
to, I
looks
try to,
bleached
but
probably is.
do you know how much we're dictated to without knowing we're being dictated to? If you go to every
Right.
supermarket and they've only got the white ones and you need eggs for your recipe,
I know.
it's only white eggs, right? That's what
It's
you're
why
having
we
now.
go to the farmers markets.
Yeah, you see what I mean? So yeah, so things have changed. I'd say a lot of people will agree with me in the UK that things have gone downhill food standard wise since we've left the EU.
Totally. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
terrible. Like you even compare um like a ingredient list from, I don't know, let's say ketchup, like Heinz
So, yeah.
ketchup or
Oh,
whatever,
yeah, that's a big one.
um,
Hmm.
between North America and even England,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
probably EU England.
Yeah.
It's like 100 ingredients in North America and like 4 ingredients in
Yeah.
England. It because like I don't know, like they're trying to poison us.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. What's allowed? I've got it here actually. Hold on. I just got it here.
Random.
What about? I haven't got much choices though. What's in it? But my son is obsessed, and I don't know why. But yeah, I don't really. I don't really do ketchup. I just feel like it masks the flavor of the actual
Yeah, it's
food.
disgusting.
Personally, yeah. But I
The
remember my dad
next
warning us not to eat that.
the next show we do together, I'll find lists online of North American food and European food and
Oh,
compare
okay.
like the same items and compare the
All
two.
right then.
I think
Yeah,
that'll
we'll
be
do it.
cool.
Do it. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I love it. Okay, so I see Ron's already switched the ticker on the bottom.
Well,
He did not
sorry.
give us he didn't give us a picture. People's sexiest men alive. Where's the picture?
Oh, we
Okay.
could have done with that.
So we have not gotten the 2024 pick yet,
Mhm.
but I figured I would go through all of the ones up until last year, and like I don't disagree with most of them.
Okay,
So
I'm interested to know. I have no idea who you're going to say.
that's right. Okay,
And I don't know what you're
85.
tasting.
Yeah, right. 1985 was Mel Gibson, and you
Okay,
also have
it's
to
all
keep
right.
in
Mhm.
mind the season of
The
when they
season,
were.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, it's 85. Yeah. Hmm.
1986, Mark Harmon,
I
who
don't know
I
who that is. Mhm.
he's on I want to say is the NCIS shows. Do you guys get them?
Oh, yeah, we have that. Yeah,
He's an
yeah.
actor here. I'm
He's
pretty
probably
sure
good
that's
looking.
him.
Yeah, I probably.
He's very
Okay.
handsome, especially in
Okay.
1986. Harry Hamlin in 87. He's
Okay.
married to Lisa Rinna, also very
Okay.
handsome in 1987. 1988 was John F. Kennedy Jr.
Ooh, sounding.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
1989 was Sean Connery, and he was 59 years old at the time. So
Wow, that
that's
was good. You
amazing.
done
Yeah,
well.
yeah, he was handsome for sure.
Mhm.
1990, Tom Cruise, no surprise. He was all
Oh
the
yeah,
rage in the
of course.
90s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like every teenage girl in my
Yeah,
school.
exactly, exactly. Even my kid, she's 12, she's like, "He's hot, hey?" And I'm like, "Well, he's kind of a
Tom
weirdo, but
Cruise.
yeah." 1991 was Patrick Swayze. Again, I
Yeah,
could see
I can
that.
see why. Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
that at the height of Dirty Dancing fame times.
Exactly,
Post
exactly.
Dirty Dancing. Yeah. Hmm.
1992 was Nick Nolte. Now I'd have to see what he looked like back then. I don't find him super
Not
attractive,
my, yeah, not my sort, but yeah,
but maybe
fair
in
enough.
'92 he was like all the
Mhm,
rage.
that's true.
93 was interesting. They did a couple. It was Richard Gere and Cindy Crawford. It's the
Well,
sexiest
is this
couple of the year.
okay? Yeah, yes, and yes, both yes for me. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah,
I love Cindy Crawford, and I'm Richard Gere's sexy any age, in my
totally.
opinion.
I agree. 1994, Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah,
He
he's all right.
he was all the
Mm-hmm.
rage in '94 for sure.
Hmm.
No
Yeah.
surprise, '95, Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah, of course. Like yeah, any age.
Any age really. '96 was Denzel.
Oh, Denzel Washington.
Yeah,
Oh,
in
he's all right.
'96.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
remember his training day. Was it around training day times?
I think
Yeah,
that was a
yeah.
little before Training
Before
Day,
that?
but it
Oh,
said
okay.
but, like, not
Well,
by
that's
much. I
fine.
think that came out in, like, '98 maybe.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's, I'm just picturing how he looked. Yeah. That would do. Yeah, I
yeah,
like that,
he was
Denzel.
handsome.
Yeah. I approve.
97, now I don't agree with this, but I
Okay.
remember at the time he was, like, all the rage. '97 was George Clooney.
Oh, I agree.
Do you?
I
Okay.
like ER days. ER
ER,
days.
yeah. Yes.
Oh,
My husband and I just watched all the seasons of ER last year, 15
did you?
seasons,
I
and
haven't
I'm
seen
like,
them for ages.
I still don't see it,
Oh, I
but I
see. I'm like, do you know what? You can't force yourself to see something that you just don't see. But
exactly.
I see
He's a
it.
great actor. I loved him in ER.
Oh, it's
I
so
even
good.
liked him in
Yeah.
Batman. But
Oh,
yeah,
he's gorgeous.
I don't see it.
He's one of my favorites on the whole list.
Well, good
So,
because he's on this list twice.
oh
Uh,
gosh, okay.
1998 was Harrison Ford. I could see
Not my
that.
type, but I get it. Hmm.
Right. Yeah. 99 was Richard Gere again.
Oh
He was
yeah.
a few years old then.
Like we said, any age. Yeah.
Yeah. 2000 was Brad Pitt again.
Oh yeah.
Again, no
Okay.
surprise. Brad
Yeah.
Pitt was a
Mhm.
babe in 2000.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
2001, Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
I could see that.
Hmm.
2002, Ben Affleck. Like
Oh,
maybe
okay. He's all
2000. I
right.
mean,
J Lo likes him.
liked him, didn't like him, liked him, didn't like him.
Yeah.
And this one I do not agree with. I never will. 2003 was Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp does not
Oh, there's
do it
something
for
about
me.
him with the goatee and the whole Pirates of the Caribbean thing.
He's dirty to me. Like he looks like he stinks.
I know what you mean. I get what you mean. But sometimes a girl needs a little bit of rough.
That's true. He is definitely rough around the edges. He's that bad boy you bring home to mom and she's like, "Oh my gosh, this guy stinks." Like
You
that's
know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see it, but I know lots of women do. 2004 was Jude Law. I could see that.
Yeah, I can see
Very
why. Hmm.
handsome.
Yeah, he is.
2005 Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, yeah, another one. Yeah, he is good
Yeah.
looking.
96 George Clooney again. And let's see, 2007 Matt Damon.
Oh, he's cute.
Yeah, he's cute. In 2008
Mm,
7 for sure.
yeah.
2008 Hugh Jackman. I could see that.
Okay. I mean, yeah, okay.
2009 Johnny Depp again.
Again.
Mm,
Okay. I
okay.
don't know about the later. I mean, okay. Well, yeah.
Okay.
He's okay.
2010 Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, you see,
100%.
a lot of people like him, but he's not my type. But I can see what they're looking
Yeah.
at. You know,
Yeah.
I can see it. Mhm.
I find him like very charismatic, which I like.
Yes.
I think that does it for
Mhm.
me more.
Yeah.
Um,
Then there's just a look without
yeah.
movement.
Yeah.
Mm.
Exactly.
He's a great actor.
2011.
Isn't he?
Yeah, great actor.
Yeah.
2011 Bradley Cooper.
Who's that? Sorry.
From The Hangover, and he was
Oh yes,
on
yeah.
the
Mhm.
movie with Lady Gaga.
Oh yeah. Hmm. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, he's
I can see
okay.
it.
Mhm.
He's pretty hot. 2012 Channing Tatum.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
I'm a dancer. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that's
can
right.
move.
That's right. Yes, he can.
He can
My
move.
kids made a comment about Magic Mike the other day, and I was like,
Magic
"Pardon
Mike,
you?"
yeah.
I'm like, "You are young." Um, 2013. This one's weird to me. Adam Levine from Maroon 5.
Oh yeah. Okay. I mean, he's okay. Yeah. I
He's
never
like
thought of him, to be honest.
he's
I'm
like a little
surprised.
frailer than I like in a man, but
Mm, mhm.
But that made up
Oh,
for it with 2014, Chris Hemsworth, Thor
okay.
himself.
Hmm.
You you don't seem impressed
Who
by that
is
one.
he? I have to Google his face now.
Oh,
Chris Hemsworth.
yeah, Chris Hemsworth. He's Thor.
Oh, I don't. Oh, see, I don't watch these boys. Oh, he is good looking. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
all right.
he's very
I
handsome.
can see why. Yeah, handsome.
You'll
Yeah.
probably like 2015's
Oh.
David Beckham.
I find him too feminine for me.
Okay, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
Mhm.
Like
I like a
from
man's man, you
if
know?
he's not talking or if he's not
Yeah.
moving,
If he
he's
doesn't say anything,
beautiful.
I've always said that he's perfect if he doesn't speak.
Right. Yes. Okay, I could totally see that.
Mhm. But
Mhm.
he's great looking, yeah.
Okay, then you might like this one because this one's a man's man.
Okay.
2016 is Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Oh, yes, yes, that body.
See, he doesn't do it for me. I'm like, no, it's too much.
No, too much. Oh, God.
Yeah, a little too much for
That's
me.
good. I'll have him. It's fine.
That's right. I'll take David Beckham. It's fine. Uh,
You can have Beckham.
20, 2017. This is a weird one to me. Blake Shelton, country singer, married to Gwen Stefani now.
I don't know him either.
Okay,
Oh,
look
damn
him
it.
up. He's
Blake,
like he's cute.
Blake.
He had all his fame with the Gwen Stefani thing. He was a judge on
Oh,
The
Blake
Voice.
Shelton. Let me see.
I
Oh,
don't
he's
know if
another cute one, isn't he?
he's very cute. I don't know if I would say
Yeah.
sexiest man alive.
I wouldn't say sexy, no, but it's more cute than. He's okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I like Gwen. I love Gwen.
Yeah, right.
Mm,
2018, I feel like you and I are gonna agree on this one.
okay.
Idris Elba.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes,
Beautiful
yes,
man.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. Very nice.
2019, John Legend does not do it for me.
No, not for me either. Sorry,
He's all,
great musician, but no, no.
also soft. A little
Yeah, too
feminine. Yeah,
soft,
I
yeah.
agree.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
2020, Michael B. Jordan. He's
He's
hot.
okay. I see it, but
Mhm.
it's just not my type.
Okay.
But I see it.
2021, I like this one. Paul Rudd.
Oh, he's cute. You know,
Yeah.
Clueless Day? Because
Yes.
I'm a Clueless girl. Um, he's not my type, but I think he's quite charismatic.
Yes.
You see?
Yeah.
I think he's a great actor.
And then when he like bulked up for Ant-Man, I'm like, okay, is
Yeah.
Paul Rudd hot? And
I
like
couldn't
Paul
believe that
Rudd's hot
the
all of a
Clueless guy,
sudden.
the nerdy accountant guy in Clueless
Yeah,
became Ant-Man.
I
Like,
know. I know. It's weird how they
yeah.
do that.
I couldn't
Well,
believe
it's
it was
like
the same person. Yeah.
to me, it's like
I think he's way like him.
what's his face who's like so popular right now? Chris Pratt.
From Chris Pratt. Oh, yeah.
But
Mhm.
like you look at him like his earlier days, he's like kind of chubby and he's like the funny guy and he's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
and now he's like, oh my gosh, it's Chris Pratt.
Wow.
Like Chris
Mhm.
Pratt's the guy.
Some people blow up, don't they? I mean, they really
Yeah,
blow up.
I
Mhm.
know. Men, they just get better with age. Meanwhile, I'm just like turning into
No,
an
no,
old prune every day.
some of those ladies is blowing up too.
Okay, well, hopefully I'm one of them.
You probably are.
2022, I agree with this one. Chris Evans, Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay. It's all right. I mean, yeah, I see
I
it.
didn't think so, but then I looked at a bunch of pictures and I was
I'm
like,
gonna have a look at
okay,
some pictures.
yeah, I
Chris
think so.
Evans.
And then 2023, this one I thought was so strange, but I could see it. It just didn't seem relevant. Like the other guys were
I
kind of
think so.
relevant of the time, but 2023 was Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
But like what like other than
One
Grey's
of the
Anatomy, what has he done
Dempsey.
lately?
He's one of those sexy older gentlemen, you know?
For sure. And I
He
guess
looks wise.
when they had told him, he just laughed and was like, "Oh, I'm always the bridesmaid." So it's like kind of funny.
I can see, but you know what? That humility that also
Yeah,
adds to the sex appeal.
that's true. Yeah, I agree.
Not
I
a
agree.
guy who walks around arrogant, thinking he's all, all of
Yeah, he's
that.
all that for sure. Like George Clooney.
Yes, yes, yeah, probably.
So yeah,
Uh,
I'm very excited to see who is 2024. I have
okay.
no idea. The world is weird right now, so who knows who
Gosh,
it would
who? Let
be.
me think. Um,
Like who's
oh
having
God.
a moment right now? Matt Rife, the comedian, he's really having a moment right now.
Okay. Who?
I can't think of anyone who's done anything kind of significant.
Um,
I know.
no, neither can I.
I
I
know.
mean, oh, I don't know. He's been cancelled, I was going to say.
This is it.
No, it's just,
P Diddy
no,
2024.
no, but Will Smith, I was thinking, but he is.
Oh, he's too
He's
weird.
never surprised he's not been on it.
I know. Yeah, because he's very
He's not
attractive.
my type, but so many women seem to.
You know who I like who could win every day? Shamar
Who?
Moore from Young and the Restless. Come look him up, Shamar Moore. Criminal
Okay.
Minds. He's on
Oh, yeah, it's come up. Hang on, let me have a look.
SWAT, I think is his show now.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, he does.
beautiful. Even my kid thinks he's hot.
I can see why you like him.
Yeah, he's handsome. Yesterday we were watching Criminal Minds with him, and my husband's like, "Look up." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "He doesn't have a shirt on," and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my gosh. Okay. Who would I? Even when I don't know who I would think. I don't know. I can't even think of anyone.
You know, me neither. That's okay. Let's think about it
No.
next time
Yeah.
that you and I do a show together.
When will they announce this? Do you know?
I think it's November, so pretty quick.
Oh, soon. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, pretty
Oh,
quick.
we'll catch up on it then.
Yeah, yeah, I can't
We'll,
wait.
we'll discuss
We'll
I
discuss
have to think
who
between
we
now
think
and
it
then.
should be. Yeah,
Who I think it should have been, and see if they
totally.
come up with it. See if I'm right.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so go into celebrity birthdays here because
Oh yeah, quickly.
we
Sorry.
are
Yeah.
so late.
So
That's okay. I knew
it
we
was
would be today.
Drake, baby. Drake's, but Mr. Canada himself, from the UK. He's like the most famous Canadian, apart from Justin, of course.
Who?
Bieber.
Who is?
Drake.
Oh,
Drake.
Drake. Ew.
Yeah.
I do not like Drake.
Do you know
No.
what? His music's not really my kind of thing. I
No.
mean, I'm a dance teacher. I very rarely use Drake music at all, ever.
Mm.
But was he 38 today? So happy
Nice.
birthday, Drake.
Him and I are born in the same year.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'll be
80s
38
babies,
soon.
yeah?
Yeah, 86.
80s babies, yeah. Like my sister. Oh, I see. Yeah, well, apparently, I mean, the whole drama with him and Kendrick Lamar,
Hmm.
but apparently, I don't know. I asked like those in the know who won. I mean, most say Kendrick, but I don't know. Were you
Yeah.
following?
No, no. My
Yeah.
kids
Oh,
said this though. That my
yeah.
mom or my one kid, she's 14. She's like,
Oh,
"Oh,
okay.
this is the diss track," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "We don't listen to this." And then she's like, "Just listen to it, mom." And I was like, "This is so stupid." I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, whatever.
I do believe that a lot of these rivalry and diss track thingy battles are all publicity.
Of course, they're
They
they're
just send this
fabricated,
yeah, fabricated music industry
like
publicity, so no one loses. And
Taylor and Katie back in the day,
oh gosh, yeah, I was always a Kate girl
Eminem
though.
and Mariah
Eminem, oh,
and whoever else.
whoever it was, yeah. I mean, I can't be bothered to follow half of them. We have a lot here in the UK between like UK hip hop
Hmm.
stars, and it's always the same one rapper called Chip that's involved with everybody's beef. It's just, and true, I find out from my son what's happening. He will update me. I can't be bothered to listen to
Yeah,
all of this
exactly. I
crap.
know.
Yeah,
It's
literally.
strange.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, and we also have Wayne Rooney. I don't know if you know the soccer star,
Yeah.
Premier League football. Yeah, Wayne Rooney. He is how old today? He is 38 as well.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, so happy. But we have a singer called Ray. Do you know Ray?
I don't think
She's
so.
a she's a British girl from South London, and she's had a few hits.
I'll look her up.
Quite a few songs. The one that in my head is Flipper Scripts. Oh, I can't sing it now. If I sing it, let me see. Oh, hang on. She's got a massive tune. What's the name of it? It was in my head. I wasn't going to mention her, but she's only 26, and I thought she
Oh,
was
wow.
older. She looks, hair, makeup. She's quite
Yeah.
glamorous.
Yeah, she
She
does
has,
look older. I'm looking at her
yeah,
now.
can you see? Yeah, she's 26 today.
Oh,
I thought
wow.
she looked. My son's 27, and he looks way younger than her.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Her song "Escapism." That's it. That's her big hit.
Okay.
Do you guys have her? Do you know her in Canada?
I
Not
mean,
yet.
maybe
She might break
we
through. Maybe the kids
maybe
know
we
her.
do. Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah,
we kids
yeah. I don't
do.
know everyone. Do you know what I mean?
If it's on
But
TikTok, then probably.
yeah, she is big on TikTok. Yeah, her songs have it. Escapism and Flipper Script. All that. She's a really talented girl. Really, really
Cool.
talented. But I'm just like, she's so young and done so well. So good on
Right?
you, right?
Yeah,
Happy
right?
birthday. Yeah, she's from a school called Brit School, which is it's a performing arts school for those in the UK who, well, mainly London, who can't afford to go to the private like performing arts schools and pay all that money. And you go by audition and they will select the most talented
Mm.
and you'll get through. And to be honest with you, a lot of people that go to that school, it's in Croydon in South London, and they will be pretty much almost guaranteed a career.
Cool.
Yeah, like a proper career, acting, singing, and dance in that
Wow.
school. And it's really, really good. She's from that school. She's same school as Amy Winehouse.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Same school that she came from. Yeah. So I just
So
see her as kind of like the next generation
cool.
from that school. She's obviously not far recent graduate from there, and she's doing really well. Yeah, she might be a bit more bigger in a few years
Oh, cool.
abroad,
Yeah,
but in
good
the
for her.
UK she's really big. Yeah. So happy birthday! I know we've got a bit over time, but I'll stop there.
Okay, that is totally fine. We do this sometimes. If we get on a tangent, it's fine. I knew Abercrombie would take us a while, so no
Yeah.
surprise there.
That's
No
cool.
surprise. Yeah, well, it was great doing a show with you.
I know, it's so much fun. Ron did
Yeah,
say we'd have fun.
yes,
He said
for
he'd love
sure he did.
Becky. I was
Yes.
like, oh, I'm sure I will. But yeah, now we've actually done it. Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
I
Ron
said
was
girl power.
excited for, yes, 2 female hosts and for 2 people not from the States, so just to
Of
mix it up here today.
course,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, bringing in the international viewers.
Oh, I hope Ron's feeling better. I know he wasn't feeling too well. Hope
Yeah.
you're better, Ron, if you're listening.
Oh, he's listening.
Yeah.
So check us out on Saturday where Ron and Kenny will take the show and join us again next week when we do it all again. So,
Bye.
bye, everybody.